bigger question, and I'm not sure if Yvonne said this, is we're feeling a little bit of a lack of control.
Yeah.
And like even an OC will laugh at this. I just left OC's property. OC sent me an RG&E bill of over $700. And
So
you know,
yeah, so here's the thing with that. So if you're doing a whole house booking, yes, you lose control, but that is something that you give up when you decide to let somebody be in your whole house. So it's like, we already talked about that. So my dad's in here like giving his two
we have a thermostat. No,
yeah,
we have a thermostat lock.
But yeah, so one thing I've heard hosts do when there is a whole house booking, yes, you lose a little bit of control, but you still have control. So you still get those utility bills in your mail and you still are able to see that bill. If that bill is like out of this world, you can you can lay down guidelines for guests. Hey, make sure that you're turning off your lights, you're using a reasonable amount of water, you're keeping the thermostat where we want it, and things like that. If the utility bill to you guys is like way out of this world, like $700, like it makes a big jump from what the utility bill usually is by hundreds of dollars, you can bring that like to a guest's attention, like maybe the first month, and let them know this is an outrageous utility bills. Our utility bills usually range from whatever to whatever. If this continues on in the second, third, fifth, whatever, how many months, then we're gonna have to charge you for this. You're gonna have to cover this utility bill, like as far as like that what we usually pay. Like, and you can also have a conversation with Airbnb about that. But like I've heard hosts do that, like let them know like this is what our utility bill is. We'd like to keep it, like this, so that we don't have to charge you extra for extra usage. So I've heard hosts do that. So, but that's just if like it's an outrageous, like I wouldn't charge a guest or bring it to their attention if it's like $100 more. But if it's like insane amounts, like we once had a utility bill that was $400 more than what we usually pay in one of our whole house bookings in Florida. Like these guests must have been taking like 5 showers like an hour. Like it was that big. So we didn't make too much of a fuss about it. But if this family was consistently staying in our Airbnb for 6 months, it's something that we probably would have brought up and then decided what to do from there. So that's something that you can also do. I've heard hosts do that. I can lay out a better guideline for you to have that conversation. But that is something that I have seen hosts do when their utility bills are like outrageous. So
I guess what my go ahead.
With that, like one thing I would do, you already have the thermostat covers, maybe leaving a note ahead of time, saying everything that Rosa just said. Explaining why the temperature is where it is currently, and that you provided, some extra blankets. So I would provide.
Do that.
Yeah.
So do that. I guess one of the other ask, if you will, because again, guests have been really good at whatever expectation we set.
Yeah.
Because we've never done this before. We don't know, and so I'm thinking I probably should message them within the first 7 days and say, hey, this is our expectation, but I don't know what that message should look like.
So when are they checking in?
They're checked in on Saturday.
They checked in already. Okay. So
me personally, I always have a reminder message that goes out on day 2. And it's automated. It's one of my automated messages. And Rosa does this as well. And it's like the main thing for that one is asking if everything is okay and if they need anything, if they're enjoying their stay so far and if they need anything.
We do that.
Maybe adding those expectations into that automated message. That way you can kind of cover all the places. You could do it for all the places, or you could just do it when you have an entire, yeah,
that one's tough.
No, I mean, I think I would make it general. I think I would make it a general message that goes out to everybody, because you don't have to say, if the utility bill is outrageous, then we'll be asking. Well, you just explain like the expectations of things, and
To avoid, you could say like, to avoid extra charges, please make sure you keep in mind,
you're
you know,
using the house reasonably. The electric, the water, whatever, the
turn off
gas, the electric, and the water.
yeah, and you can lay out what that looks like. Make sure you turn off everything, when you leave the house, don't leave anything running. Make sure that, if you have.
Yvonne, you're writing this down, right, Yvonne?
Yes, I
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, and we can like,